Yo, welcome to Football for Fun. I'm Isaac, a delusional Panthers fan, and today I thought it'd be a good time to do the channel's first tier list. With the draft fast approaching and free agency wrapping up, it's kind of tough to rank all the teams like power rankings or whatnot. So what I'll be doing is I'll be sorting each of the 32 NFL teams into a tier list with 5 categories. All my opinion, should be controversial, no bias whatsoever, probably really cringe, but if I'm accurate, I'll brag about it a year from now. Anyway, if you like the video, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. We are at 53 subscribers as of this recording. We would love to get to 100 subscribers fairly soon. We have some surprises in store if we do, so be sure to support the channel if you want to see more. Alright, let's get to the video. Alright, so we have our tier list here with 5 categories. Alright, we have the contenders, which probably not going to be too many teams that get into this category. We have better than mid, which is basically above average. We have mid, which is what the kids say nowadays, meaning average, I think. I don't actually know that, I'm guessing. And then we have worse than mid, which is below average, basically. And then we have hot garbage, which is where all of my divisional rivals are going to go. So let's go ahead and start with the first team on the list, which is the Arizona Cardinals, and they're going right into hot garbage for me. I don't like their situation whatsoever. They got a first-year head coach. They got an injured quarterback who, he's going to be out half the season. Who knows who's going to be starting for the first half of the year. And it's an aging team. They're going to be trading away their top receivers soon. They had J.J. Watt retire. I don't like the situation whatsoever in Arizona. They could surprise me. They could turn it around, but as of now, I hate it. Under the next team on the list, we have the Atlanta Falcons, who are also hot garbage because, 1, I'm biased, 2, I actually don't like their team a whole lot. They're starting Desmond Ridder at quarterback. Do you know who Desmond Ridder is? I do because I watch college football, but I'm guessing the majority of NFL fans don't know who that is. He was a quarterback for the Cincinnati Bearcats in college football. He was fairly successful. There's not a huge likelihood that he's going to succeed in the NFL, however. So there's a strong chance the Falcons are pretty trash next season, but if Ridder turns out to be good, then I'll eat my words. Next on the list is the Baltimore Ravens, and they're kind of tough to rank right now. I think with Lamar Jackson, they are better than mid, but if Lamar is not coming back, they're going right into mid for me. Because if they don't keep him, they likely trade him away, in which case they receive a first-round pick this year in addition to their own. I think they would probably be able to either trade up for a quarterback or maybe draft one in the middle of the draft somewhere. I don't really know. Or maybe they just roll out Tyler Huntley. Technically he's a Pro Bowl quarterback. So I think the Ravens will be okay without Lamar. If they have Lamar, I would move them up a category. But right now, I'm not loving it, not hating it. Then we have the Buffalo Bills, who I am actually going to put in the contender tier right here. I think they are Super Bowl contenders if they stay healthy. They were contenders last season. They just got in their own way as the season progressed. And if they can get it together, maybe add a receiver, add a linebacker, I think they could be in a good spot to contend for the Super Bowl this season. So I don't know, man. I like Buffalo a lot. I liked them last season. They got to get it together, though. Next on the list is the Carolina Panthers. I'm biased. I would put them in contenders. Realistically, I'm going to put them in mid for now. And you may disagree if you haven't watched any Carolina Panthers football, but we have a really solid team aside from the quarterback position. And once we draft either CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, or God forbid, Will Levis, I think we're going to be at least average in the league, like 8 to 9 win season coming up. We have a very good offensive line. We have a very good defense. We have okay receivers right now. We have a Pro Bowl running back. I think we can be pretty decent next season. I don't love it, don't hate it realistically, but yeah, that's my take on it. And then with the Chicago Bears, I'm also going to put them in mid. I'm not completely sold on Justin Fields as a passer. I know he can run. He's a fantastic running quarterback, but we'll see if he progresses as a passer this coming season. I'm not loving the defense just yet. I'm not loving the offense just yet. I think there's a lot of potential here. Right now, I'm just going to stay safe and put them in mid. Then we have the Bengals. They're contenders. They were in the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. They got pretty close to getting back their last season. I see no reason for them to escape the contender tier anytime soon. They're going to be here for a long time. Then we have the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to put them in mid for now. If Deshaun Watson improves his play on the field, I think there's a good chance they jump up to better than mid or maybe even contenders for the Super Bowl. As of now, and based on what we saw last season, I'm not that confident in them. They have the potential. The sky's the limit. But for now, let's go with mid. And we have the Dallas Cowboys, who I'm going to put in the better than mid category. I think the sky's the limit for them too. I think they were close to being a Super Bowl team last season. I think Dak was a major issue for them. He threw far too many picks, and it cost them far too many games. I think if he can get that under control, they could show up. They have a playoff issue, as they have had for 30 years, but, things possible. I'm not going to put them in contenders, but they're better than average. And the Broncos, I'm going to say worse than mid. I mean, if you believe that Sean Payton is about to step in and save Russell Wilson in that offense, then you can bump them up. I'm not that confident in them. Just based on what we saw last season, the offense was like terrible. I can't even sum up how bad that offense is in one word, but it was basically unwatchable. As a Panthers fan, they made Carolina's offense look elite. All right, that's how bad we're talking. So the defense is going to take a bit of a hit this season with their defensive coordinator leaving, coincidentally, to Carolina. And I don't know. I think maybe they can be mid. Maybe they can be better than mid, but we'll see. For now, I'm going to go worse than mid. Then we have the Detroit Lions. I'm going to put them in the better than mid category. I think they could make a leap to the contender status. I think their ceiling is a bit capped right now with Jared Goff at quarterback, and I am a Jared Goff fan. I think he's severely disrespected in the league, but he's good enough to take this team to the playoffs. He nearly did it last season. I think they could make the playoffs. They could win their division. They could win a playoff game. I'm not going to say they're Super Bowl contenders quite yet, but they are capable of it. They have the talent. Then we have the Packers, and I'm going to put them in worse than mid. By now, we can all assume that Aaron Rodgers is on the way out, which means Jordan Love is going to be the starter, and I haven't seen anything from Jordan Love to say that he's going to be good enough to take the Packers to the playoffs. I think they'll probably be decent. They won't be terrible or anything. They'll be below average, though. Maybe 6-7 wins, something like that. Maybe close to mid. I don't know. I don't love the situation they're in, but hey, if Jordan Love is terrible, draft a quarterback next season. Then we have the Texans, and I think they've improved a lot this offseason. I'm actually going to put them in worse than mid because they're in position to draft a quarterback, either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, unless they screw it up and take Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. And they improved a lot. Their offensive line got a whole lot better. They added a second running back. I think that's going to help Dameon Pierce a lot. They traded away Brandon Cooks, unfortunately for them, but their receiver room isn't actually that bad. It'll be helpful to the quarterback. And they signed Dalton Schultz at tight end, so I liked that move a lot. The defense, I think the defense will be a little better than last season. They still have some work to do, but I think the Texans improved a lot this offseason, which bumps them up from hot garbage to worse than mid. Then we have the Colts. They are going straight to hot garbage. They're probably drafting a quarterback, or they might trade for Lamar. If they trade for Lamar, bump them up a couple of tiers. But right now, I think they're garbage. They should be in contention for the top pick next year. As of now, this could change, though. But yeah, I don't like the Colts at all. And then we have the Jaguars. I'm going to put them in better than mid. I view them about the same way as I view the Lions, except that they have potentially an MVP quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. Not maybe not right now, but he is capable of getting to that level. That's what I mean. Like Trevor Lawrence, he's got all the talent to take this team to the Super Bowl, and it's possible that this is the year they break through. Right now, I'm going to say they are better than mid. They could make the leap to contenders fairly soon, but right now, let's play it safe and say they're better than mid. But I love this team a lot. The Jags and the Lions right here. I'd love to see these two teams play in the Super Bowl, Probably not, though, because we have the Chiefs here going to the contenders. We got 3 contenders from the AFC up here. The Bills, Bengals, and Chiefs. So the Chiefs, obviously, they just won the Super Bowl. It's not like we're going to bump them down a tier, even if they lost some talent in the offseason. I mean, are you going to bet against Patrick Mahomes? I hope not. That's not going to go your way, buddy. So, yeah, Chiefs are definitely contenders. If you're betting on anyone to win it all again, bet on the Chiefs. And we have the Chargers. I'm going to put them in mid for now. They have all the talent to be better than mid or possibly even contenders with Justin Herbert. But with Brandon Staley as their coach, I'm not a Staley fan. I think they should have fired him. So I think their ceiling is capped as long as Brandon Staley is their coach. So for now, they're going to be mid. And now for the Rams, I'm going to put them in worse than mid. I'm not loving their situation at all. Their offensive line is terrible. They don't have the resources to improve it. They should be mostly the same team as last season, which if you saw them last season, that's not a good thing. So probably just worse than mid, which considering they won the Super Bowl not too long ago, that's okay. I mean, you just won it all. It's okay to have a couple of down seasons. And we have the Raiders. I'm going to put them in... I put them in worse than mid. They have a very mid quarterback in Jimmy G. They have an all-star receiver in Devontae Adams. Hunter Renfrow is a good slot receiver. I don't even know who their tight end is anymore. They traded away Darren Waller. So, and Josh Jacobs at running back. They have good offense. The defense I don't love. They have Max Crosby. That's the only player I can name on that defense, I think. I don't love the defense, and I'm definitely not a fan of their coach, Josh McDaniels. He's going to be fired at the end of this coming season. I would bet on that. So I'm going to put them in worse than mid. I think the Raiders are going to be the worst team in that division. And we have the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to put them in better than mid. I think there's a possibility they become contenders this season if Tua stays healthy and the defense makes a jump. The Dolphins were 8-3 last season when Tua was healthy, and that was with the defense not playing all that well. Now they've hired Vic Fangio as defensive coordinator. They traded for Jalen Ramsey. The defense should be vastly improved. The offense, if Tua is healthy, is already very good, so the Dolphins could be elevated to contender status. But for now, let's go for better than mid. And with the Vikings, I'm going to put them in mid. I mean, they had a lot of lucky results last season, made the playoffs, were one and done, and I don't think they got better this offseason. If anything, they might be the second best team in their division now. Maybe even the Bears pass them. I'm not sure. I mean, Justin Fields, better quarterback than Kirk Cousins, arguably, probably, realistically. So I'm not loving the Vikings right now. They're just kind of mid. In a couple of seasons, they might be a lot better, though. And now for a team that defines mid, let's go with the Patriots. The only reason they are even mid is because of Bill Belichick. If not for him, they would probably be worse than mid or maybe even hot garbage. I don't love the team at all. The offense was absolutely putrid last season, but hiring Bill O'Brien as offensive coordinator was a smart move. I think that improves their offense a bit. I don't like Mac Jones, though, and that's a problem for me. It's Mac Jones, Juju Smith-Schuster. Ramondre Stevenson's a good running back, but I don't think that offense is taking you to a Super Bowl. I'm not even sure it takes you to the playoffs. The defense is still good, but I view this team about the same as I did last season. So they should be in the playoff hunt. I'm not going to say if they make it or not, but yeah, we'll see. The Saints, they're hot garbage. I'm not going to talk about them. Onto the New York Giants. I'm going to say they are pretty mid for now. I know they made the playoffs last season. I know, but that was with limited talent. I want to see them add more talent before I bump them up a tier here. I'm not a fan of Danny Dimes. They have Saquon. That's basically their entire offense, all right? They have a lot of room for improvement, and they had an impressive season last year. But for now, let's just go with mid. And then for the Jets, I'm also putting them in mid for now. If they get Rodgers, I might put them in better than mid. They might stay in mid. I don't know. They basically have almost a perfect team aside from quarterbacks. So, like, it's tough to judge that. They currently don't have a good quarterback who's throwing the ball on the team. If they get Rodgers, bump them up a tier. Otherwise, they're just mid, I guess. The Eagles, yeah, they're contenders. I mean, they just went to the Super Bowl. They lost some talent, but they did a good job replacing it. They've drafted well. I wouldn't worry about the Eagles falling off. They're going to do very well this coming season. Then with the Steelers, I'll also put them in mid because, I mean, I like the team a lot. They have an elite defense. They have pretty solid wide receivers, a decent running back. I'm not sure about the offensive line. I think their O-line is okay. The quarterback is the big question mark. I believe in Kenny Pickett. I don't believe most people do, though. If Kenny Pickett plays better in year 2, bump them up a tier. Otherwise, they remain mid. Another 8, 9, 10 season. 9 to 10 win season. Yeah. And for the Seattle Seahawks, I'm going to say they are... I'm going to say they're also kind of mid. Like, I think they could be a playoff team again. I like their team a lot. Let's wait and see how the draft goes. I think after the draft, they might be bumped up a tier. For now, they're mostly the same team as last year, and they made the playoffs. Surprised a lot of people. If Geno plays as well as he did last season, they'll be fine. I don't think this is a Super Bowl team, though, and I don't think it's a team that's realistically going to go on a playoff run. For the 49ers, yeah, contenders. I don't even care who their quarterback is. Put in Josh Johnson if you want to. You know what? They got Sam Darnold now. Yeah, he'd take him to the Super Bowl. The 49ers are basically perfect aside from quarterback. So, like, doesn't matter. Just go ahead, mark them down for contenders. They'll be fine. Tampa Bay, they are worse than mid. I mean, Baker Mayfield is their quarterback. As a Panthers fan, I'll tell you this, that's a bad thing. The Titans, I think they're going to be hot garbage this season. I've been on the Titans should tank train for a while. I think they definitely should tank this coming season. I don't see how they're going to be contending. I think the Jaguars are going to own the AFC South. I think the Texans have passed the Titans as well. Ryan Tannehill is not taking you back to the playoffs. Derrick Henry can't do everything as great as he is. You don't have any receivers aside from young receiver Treylon Burks. I hate this team completely. Like, there's not much to like about it here. It's Derrick Henry and then a bunch of nobodies. So good luck, Tennessee. And then the Commanders, they're very mid, in my opinion. Um, they didn't really improve at quarterback here. I think they're going to start Sam Howell, a fifth round rookie quarterback last season, or maybe they're gonna start Jacoby Brissett. I don't know, and I don't really care, to be honest. Like, this team is so uninteresting. They have Scary Terry. I love Scary Terry. He's a great receiver. Who else do they have on offense? I mean, not anyone, no big names or anything. I know they got a decent defense, and I love the coach. They got Ron Rivera. I'm biased towards him, of course. So I don't know. Like, Washington is mid, but I think they're also the worst team in the NFC East. So there you go. This is probably Ron Rivera's last season there, unfortunately. But yeah, this is gonna be my tier list. Contenders, we got 5 contenders here, basically the same contenders as last season. Go figure. We have better than mid. I think each of these 4 teams, Dallas, Detroit, Jacksonville, Miami, they could all make the playoffs and go on a run, potentially get to the Super Bowl. Then we have all the mid teams who I think are going to be playoff contenders, very likely in the playoff mix as the season goes on. I don't know how confident I'd be in all of these teams making the playoffs, but I think they're going to be in the mix at least. Then we have worse than mid. I would be surprised if any of these teams made the playoffs. And then hot garbage, good job. You 5 are going to be contending for the top pick. Okay, I should say the Saints are probably in mid as well. I'll be honest, they're in mid, but it makes me happy to see them in hot garbage. Anyway, yeah, that's that. That was my first tier list on the Football for Fun YouTube channel. If you liked it, be sure to comment, like, subscribe. And we're on the path to 100 subscribers, so we appreciate all the help we can get. If you like this tier list, just let us know. We'll do another one after the draft. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you there. Bye.